Who is the most iconic superhero of all time?
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman! Yes, it's Superman!
Superman is the superhero, the one who started it all. But let's be honest, when was the last time a Superman movie felt truly super? It's no secret that while other heroes have thrived on the big screen, Hollywood has spent decades trying, and mostly failing, to figure out what to do with the Man of Steel. As someone from Gen Z, I haven't seen a single person, who isn't a comic nerd, no offense, pick Superman as their favorite superhero. Oh, I love Batman, The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. Of course Iron Man, he sacrificed himself to save the universe. Spider-Man's so cool, man, I almost cried when I saw Tobey in No Way Home. But no Superman, why is that? Most people think Superman is a boring character because he's super.
Say that again?
He is the strongest, he's smart, he has a loving family and friends. He's simply too perfect to be an interesting movie character in the current state of the cinema, or so everyone thought. James Gunn's Superman proved otherwise. The new movie isn't just well received by fans and critics, it's the most watched superhero movie of 2025. How? While James Gunn and the movie itself deserve a ton of credit, I think there are some big outside factors that aren't talked about enough. To understand it, we need to go back to the beginning to see how Superman became so popular, why that popularity decreased, and most importantly, what changed. The rise of a hero. In the middle of the Great Depression, two young men named Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, who were struggling with poverty, created a hero for the people. His name, Superman. He first flew onto the scene in Action Comics issue 1 in 1938. At first, publishers dismissed the character as silly. They were wrong. While the first issue sold well, it was the explosive success of Action Comics issue number 4 that forced them to take notice. After making a survey, they were shocked to discover that it was Superman, the character they originally had no faith in, who was driving the massive sales. Why? Because in those early stories, he wasn't just lifting cars, he was taking on real-world problems, fighting corrupt businessmen, protecting exploited workers, and defending abused women and children. In a world full of hardship, people didn't want a god, they wanted a hero who could save them from their own reality. This was a direct reflection of the creator's own social and political views during the New Deal era. The Man of Steel adapts. Then came World War II. While the US was still neutral, Superman's creators, both Jewish, were already taking a stand against fascism. In his comics and radio shows, Superman was shown fighting thinly veiled Nazi lookalikes. When the US officially entered the war in 1941, he transformed from a neutral figure into a powerful patriotic symbol, fighting Axis powers and symbolizing truth, justice, and the American way. After the war, readers grew tired of constant military themes. While many other patriotic comics vanished, Superman survived and thrived. He adapted once again, shifting his focus to upholding law and order during a time of social uncertainty. He kept his audience because he was responsive to what they needed in their hero. The enduring legacy. By this point, Superman was the superhero. His perfect hero archetype inspired countless copycats. With so many similar characters around, readers eventually started to get bored. While the interest in heroes with more human flaws, like Batman and Spider-Man, were rising, Superman, being the original, managed to stay on top of all the imitations. His legacy was cemented in pop culture with 1978 Richard Donner movie, which spawned two successful sequels, Superman 2 and Superman 3, turning the Man of Steel into a global household name. With TV becoming an everyday household item, animated TV series of superheroes became the norm. A lot of 90s kids grew up with Superman and the Justice League animated series. By the early 2000s, superhero movies started to gain serious traction. With hits like X-Men and Spider-Man, Warner Bros. Wanted to push their own heroes, Batman and Superman. They hired Bryan Singer, the director of X-Men, to direct Superman Returns in 2006. The film was a soft sequel to Christopher Reeve films and felt out of place in a time when Batman had just been reinvented with a darker and more grounded approach. With the immense success of Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, a darker and grittier approach to superhero movies became the new norm. at least in the DC. The Dark Superman era. One of the most influential new takes was the fighting game Injustice: Gods Among Us, which explores a world where Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois Lane, who was pregnant at the time. Driven mad by grief, Superman kills the Joker and establishes the One Earth regime, a brutal global dictatorship enforced by allied superheroes like Wonder Woman, and Batman leads the insurgency resistance, trying to stop Superman. At the time, this story was considered a fresh take and was well received. Although it wasn't the first time we saw an evil Superman, it was the one that made the most impact on pop culture. Zack Snyder's Man of Steel came out in the same year. David Goyer's more realistic writing, focusing on the science fiction aspect of people discovering a superpowered alien living on Earth, and Zack Snyder's direction style focusing more on the action sequences and characters looking cool rather than being actual heroes, made the movie stand out from the other Superman movies. Although Man of Steel wasn't received the best, it gained enough attention to greenlight a sequel. Following the different Superman stories trend, they wanted to push the boundaries even more and announced Batman v Superman. The movie explores Batman's hatred towards Superman following the massive destruction the Kryptonian caused in Metropolis. Although it's a fresh take in the Superman stories, it received heavy criticism, especially the big realization scene where Superman mentions Martha, his mother. Then Batman realizes Superman has a mother and that he is also a human, is mocked relentlessly by audiences to this day.
Why did you say that name?
Justice League continued the same trend.
Kal-El, no!
The trend didn't stop there. Pop culture also gave us popular Superman parodies like Homelander from The Boys and Omni-Man from Invincible, both depicting an evil Superman with different motives. You get the gist by now. The fresh take on Superman is so overdone that if you are Gen Z, you have probably seen more of the dark versions than the classical ones. The last time we saw a classic Superman story on the big screen was 19 years ago. A hero for today. This is why James Gunn's Superman felt completely fresh. Because it is. We haven't seen this in a very long time. This is a Superman who saves people instead of just beating up the bad guy. He has loving relationships, he inspires people to do good, he's a symbol of hope. A classic Superman story didn't just feel fresh, it felt needed. Just like how he resonated with people during the Great Depression, he's resonating with us today. Our world currently feels more unstable than ever. We are surrounded by major wars, global conflicts, and humanitarian crises. The climate crisis is accelerating, bringing destructive floods and fires. On a personal level, this generation is facing a unique kind of hopelessness. For the first time, we are actually poorer than our parents, and with the rise of artificial intelligence, the future of work has never been more uncertain. James Gunn nailed it. He wrote a script not only respecting the legacy of the character, but also understanding the current state of society. His Superman didn't just feel like a regular superhero. He felt like he's one of us. Punching harder wasn't his solution to everything. He lost a fight for the first time, he faced hate, he questioned his identity. What did he do? He asked for help. From his dog, from his friends, from his family. He cared about people, and people cared about him. We all needed a hero, someone with eyes full of hope, and Superman delivered. Thank you for watching my take on why Superman's cool again and why this movie felt so fresh. If you liked the video, you can subscribe and maybe hype the video. YouTube actually added that feature to help small creators like me, who is starting out on YouTube. And hopefully, see you next time.